Just all right.
Guess Vaduz must be pretty quiet.
Well, mostly Chinese tourists, actually, coming to scope their new property when they come back here.
Yeah, you guessed right, it is pretty quiet. Landvest.
Very quiet. Very quiet. I reckon there's about 50 people live here. Right in the center of their town, this is their capital city, right? And that's it, not Cadiz. Vaduz.
Would you like one? Thanks, Deakin Starwater. Would you like a leaflet? I guess that means no. Shaking your umbrella means no here in this country. Don't even get a chance to ask the question. Would you like a leaflet?
Yes, thank you.
I think we need the megaphone.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do something. Would you like a leaflet?
Thank you. Thank you, no. I have plenty of money, but I don't have the knowledge. Well, it's a little quieter than Milan yesterday. That was a different place altogether. This is the quiet place.
So far, nobody wants a leaflet. Would you like a leaflet? No.
Who's meant to I did speak to a lady just now who was pretty fascinated by it, but equally the two Jehovah's Witnesses ladies that were standing here had disappeared like a contrail. Contrails, aren't they interesting? Do you ever think about this? Like, when people defend the chemtrail, they say that what's happening is that the hot gases are forming into ice crystals, and that's what we see as this lingering whiteness in the sky. But surely if they were ice crystals, they would just become heavier than the surrounding atmosphere and fall to the ground. That's what you would expect to see. Well, you'd think logically, but of course the physics of the ball is anything but logical. Anyway, I'm going to do some flat Earth is flat flyers. These have got some great references and resources on the back, which most people will have seen, I'm sure, by now. It's a very quiet town, and it's obviously well minted. Lots of money here.
Not even a Sunday.
No. I think the only time we'll see a heavy footfall is when the offices clear out of all the...
I mean, even if it's quiet, you can still get interactions, but the problem is not only is it quiet, but everybody seems closed.
Closed, yeah,
Like
they
that.
don't speak much in the way of English. Can I offer you a flyer?
Would you like one?
Earth is flat, my dear. A little bit of
First
French?
one.
A little bit of French? Yeah? French would be useful, yeah. Obviously, you're German.
May have to leave quickly, Nicholas. For us?
Oh, hi, Nick.
Well, we've got to pick up Sven today, so we can't be too late.
Yeah, a little late, yeah. I thought that they will be more open, you know?
Well, I thought I was invisible for a moment there. Either that or the poor lady is hard of hearing. She didn't see me. Didn't hear me. Let me flat smack this guy. Some information, my friend.
All right.
Have a good day. There's one. Right at home. Right at home.
One or two for some interaction.
Hey, look, there's a smoker. Smokers are always up for a conversation. They're all on their own nowadays. They've been kicked out of the office, so they want to have a conversation. Hi. Okay.
I don't have to film you, it's alright. Would you like a leaflet?
No, thank you.
Maybe we need to tell them it's tourist information. Yeah.
Information how
It is.
to get money immediately. In 5 minutes, you get million.
Tell them it's tourist information about where we live. Yeah.
Could be.
That might work. Considering there's so many tourists here.
So many shirts. Okay, it's not a season. But it's central, you know.
Would you like a leaflet? Would you like a leaflet? Okay, you're welcome. Would you like a leaflet? I tried him already.
La terra è piatta. Not going to work up here, is it?
No.
Some information, my brother. Terra è piatta. Earth is flat. We've been lied to you about everything we know. Some information for you. All the best. Good luck. Cheers. Rag F International.
Would you like some information?
Bitte? Some information.
Important information.
No,
There
it's
you go.
okay. Huh? We've been lied to. We don't live on a globe. NASA is faking space. The landings were
What's the problem with specking space?
faking space. Space is a comic
There
strip.
is no space.
The space is in your mind.
Just the Star Wars.
This is space.
Yeah,
A vacuum and a non-vacuum can't sit side by side. Thermodynamics proves that. Thermodynamics proves that vacuums and non-vacuums do
they
not
already
sit side
do.
by side.
They already do. What's happening?
I wonder if these workers want a leaflet.
Yeah. I'll take one from you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Why don't you go give them one? You go.
Excuse me. I have some information here you might like. Please take.
Can you smack them?
I'll just put it down on the floor.
Ah. Oh yeah, the least you can do is plant some seeds there, Lisa. Like that guy you hit at the truck stop earlier on. I'm sure he's talking about it with his co-driver all the way home.
Would you like a leaflet?
Good day. Earth is flat, brother. Earth is flat. NASA fake space. NASA is
Would you like leaflet?
You did.
NASA is faking space. Well done. I really am looking forward to having people come on the chat in the future and say, hey, I saw you guys in such and such a place and you got me a leaflet and here I am.
And I've
But
realised.
I've seen it now.
Yeah.
That would be very rewarding. Very rewarding.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit delayed. I did that
Is it
to
then?
somebody once. He come back 2 years later and said,
Wow.
you know what? I think you're right. And he said, I want to expose it and write a book on it.
Awesome.
Didn't expect that.
Awesome. Well, the first guy I really brought this to 3 or 4 years ago, he's still not talking to me. So. I showed him Tim Peake doing his little monkey stunts in space, and I said, look, there's the harness in his trousers. There's the padded harness, and he's like, no, they probably wear nappies. That was his excuse. They probably wear nappies. And this is a guy who doesn't care for the government, who's, you know, kind of lived on benefits most of his life, type of thing, you know. But ultimately,
Would you like a leaflet?
the appeal to authority is very potent for some. Very potent.
Yes.
See, we're at quantum. Quantum of science. Quantum of conscience. Hey, Zizi. Hello.
To be fair, none of them
Would you like a leaflet?
It's live information gold, it's gold. How to get $1 million in 5 minutes.
Would you like a leaflet?
Good afternoon, sir. The Earth is flat. We've been lied to about our Check it out. Woof, woof. No, I don't let it go. I might have to walk up and down and hit some of the shops, you know, because
Yeah.
the traction here, the footfall is.
He's gotta be a closure with the
shops.
hello.
Well, now it's raining as well. We're going to get even less people.
How can you get less than this?
Yeah.
Is it possible
Less than nothing.
that there could be even less people than this?
Well, there's one here. Look. Would you like a leaflet? Would you like some information?
You give me already.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's right,
More controlled, right?
Nicholas. No one around. It's raining as well. It's a small town. So, what to do? Most of them are Chinese tourists that don't speak to us. But would you like some information? No.
Dead what? Dead, meaningless what?
Would you like some information?
Nee, dank je. Oh, no,
Would you like? You're welcome. Take it. Information about where we live? No.
The government is lying to you. NASA is fake. Space. There's no space. There's no space, guys. Just in Star Wars. Just in Star Wars.
Everybody's ultra rich in Lichtenstein, apparently.
Don't want, you gotta
Land
keep-
of zombies,
keep the
fluoride
money
wool.
beside when you look at this.
Kieran says, have you thought of getting balloons to draw the children in?
Well, Dave did mention that before we came on tour, but it's just about accessing it.
Yeah. Look at all these guys.
You are living a lie. Oh, let me say hello.
Important
to my
information.
sis. What?
Tourist information, discount prices.
For all the stores.
Oh, it's great news. It's
Yeah.
great news.
You find the group? You found the group?
No, well, I found out that the reason it's quiet is because it's out of season. All we need to do is wait 2 months, and
that's
it'll be
it?
busy again.
Okay.
Yeah?
Awesome.
So we're going to hang out here for 2 months. Daddy can't eat. Oh, yeah.
Would you like some important tourist information? No.
There's too many people. Yeah. Hello, ladies.
Would you like?
Hello. Do you want to find out about the flat Earth theory?
Can I give you one of these? It's information about where we live.
Yeah. Thank
You know about it.
Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, what we need to do, somebody said leave a few on the postcard racks.
Yeah. Good shout. I'll get it out quickly enough.
There's a cash point over there.
Oh, hold on, hang on. Here's
We
a
need to
group.
put,
Here's a big group. A massive group is coming tonight. Does anyone speak English? You do? Cool, I want to give you some information. We've been lied to about the shape of the Earth. There's no way we could live on a spinning ball. NASA is faking space. They never went to the moon. Water is always level. And there's no science that proves we are spinning. I'm saying to you, my friends, go and look at this information. There's a documentary called The Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. You watch the documentary, NASA footage, they faked space. They faked going to the moon landing, the moon. So, what does it mean? It means the Earth is probably flat and not a ball. It means that gravity is a religion because we can't prove gravity. Gravity is simply the
you like
dropping of something. That doesn't mean water will walk underneath a ball. Yeah?
Can you come to the end here?
We don't know about any end. There's like an Antarctic treaty that stops us from going beyond Antarctica, but we think it's all contained in some sort of ice, like a dish, big bowl, like a lake, with some rocks in the middle, and that's what we call a continent. But we don't really know. We don't claim to know. Just like we used to believe that,
You just say the science is not.
remember that most of science is built on theory. The theory of relativity.
Criticize these theories, but you don't.
I'm not looking to say, no, but I can
Because
prove.
you cannot.
Yeah, because I can't. So I'm not trying to offer you other theories. We have theories, but let's first deal
Would
with
you like
the
some
basics.
information?
One, the science that shows that we're spinning. None. There's no experiment that we can prove that we're spinning.
Yeah, but the water which is going down the flash.
No, we found that can work either way. You can depends on what kind of sink you've got. Depends on the way that the water goes into it. So Coriolis effect is not an answer enough because they say that we're traveling 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. Okay, 1,000 miles an hour would have huge wind forces. So if you went south or north, you would see massive differences in that. Not like a little bit. It's not enough of an answer. I thought so myself. I used to believe in that too. But only 4 years ago I discovered that if we live on a ball, there should be curvature. There should be curvature of 8 inches in the mile squared if we live on a ball, right? And we cannot measure that curvature. 8 inches per mile squared. Well, we're just going around Europe. We've been driving around Europe for the last 2 months. We've got another month to go. Just sharing this. Why? Because it means that we might be far more important. It means that religion and science has been used to control our minds, all of us, our minds, and to hold us down, and to keep us subject, to keep us playing catchers, to keep us thinking that we're just monkeys. I used to believe in evolution. I used to believe out of Africa. I used to believe in heliocentrism, like there was something much more than us. In fact, we might be the center of creation, and that you might be the creator's creation. Just like it says in the Bible, not that I'm selling the Bible, but I think that we are far more important than we've ever been led to believe. And that your journey here is like a divine travel, a divine experience that you're meant to be having, one in which you learn about who and what you are, and you raise your vibration so that maybe something in the afterlife, I'm not sure, but that's what my message is, why I think it's important, because it's more than religion, more than science, it's about you and your soul. There's references there, plenty of research. It took me a few months.
Here we go again.
No, I don't get paid. I'm doing this. Well, we got donations from various people. £50 here, €100 there. People who have over the last few years come together. There's thousands of people now that have worked this out, and so there's thousands of people who are starting to make little bits of contributions towards, getting this word out there. Because in YouTube we are censored like you can't believe. I mean, if you type in flat Earth into YouTube, you get pages of disinfo. Why? Why would they be doing that? They allow alien stories. They allow all these other kind of weird stories, religions, all these things. That's all good. But don't say the Earth is flat, because water is level. We say water level in English, and we say sea level in English. And I hear in Lichtenstein, what are we, 3,000 feet above sea level? Who's sea level? Which sea? There's only one sea level.
Would you like some information?
It's not easy. What, sea level?
It's about where we live. There's a lot of people suggesting that we don't actually live on the globe.
Which sea level are you going to take your...
There's a website here with a lot more information. If we start.
Well, natural density. Okay, so if you heat the water up, it becomes steam and rises. Yeah. But if you let it cool, it becomes rain and settles. If you freeze it, it starts to float once more, and that's all about the density of the water, nothing to do with gravity. Gravity has been used to say, oh well, we see these forces, let's call it gravity, and in addition to that, with a little bit of maths, you can also make things work on an imaginary ball. So that's why we say gravity was designed to trick our minds. It's really just a belief. It's not something that we can say, oh well, we've taken the ISS, or we've gone away from Earth, we've flown planes and ships happily cruising underneath the ball. Because if a ship was leaving Europe and going to Africa or somewhere else, would it be going downhill and eventually going round and round and round? No, they say, oh, relatively speaking, wherever you are, you're on the top of the ball. Yeah, you understand that? So, but that means that if I want to be on the top of the ball, how can you be on the top of the ball? If we was, let's make it a football, and I'm standing on the top of the ball, and you're going to go, no, but I'm here in South America, Brazil, but I'm on the top of the ball too. That can't work. It could only work if it was on a level, perspective. But it can't really be perspective, because if you think that the ship is going down, if you see the ship leaving you and going down, that must mean that the place that you've left from and going to is lower. But that doesn't work, because Brazil is not lower, because when you get to Brazil, you say, oh no, I'm back on top. And when I go back to Europe, I'm going to go down again. Both can't go down. That doesn't make any sense. So we looked into perspective, we understand that with angular resolution, it makes it seem as though the ship's going over. But when you take the powerful binoculars, the telescope, you can see the ship for another hour. What about if you take a plane over the Mediterranean? You can see ships for 100 miles, 200 miles on a clear day, and they're all on a lake. But they say there should be 8 inches in the mile squared, which means over 10 miles, 60 feet. Over 100 miles, talking about half a mile of curvature. And we know water's not going to bend like that, like a big meniscus. And if it was a big meniscus, then ships would have to account for, oh, now we're going downhill, we're going to go faster. Oh, now we've got to come back uphill, we're going to go slower.
It's very interesting.
Okay, there's a documentary called 200 Proofs, Earth is Not a Ball. 200 proofs, just type in 200 proofs, and it's in Italian and 20 different languages, so you'll probably find it there and you can understand it. Good luck, brother. Let's go and check if Jack is alright. He's talking to the constabulary.
In this case, you see how many miles, how should the drop be by 2,084 feet. But it's not. We see all of it. Or in this case, 3 miles. That's 4.5 kilometers, I think, approximately. And you see all the hills behind. You see, and all the hills are like straight. It's not bending. Each in one.
It's your point of view. We have a really different. That doesn't matter right now.
It matters for all of us.
As I told him, I had already some calls. If you want to display your things like this and put it here, you first have to get permission of the office of the mayor. You cannot just come and put it and as no problem, no asking at all.
Ah, right. This is not public.
Yeah, of course it is. It's public property of the village of Vaduz. If you want to do it in a private garden, no problem.
I thought as a
Public,
European,
put it here.
This is not the European country.
Not in the European Union.
It's not in the European Union.
It's Lichtenstein, own country, not European Union. It's within Europe, the continent, of course.
Yeah.
The European Union is different.
This is the owner, then the public of Lichtenstein.
Switzerland is also not European Union. There's different laws. If you want to display anything, you just need to ask first, as for example, we did. They asked for permission. I document that it's years ago, last time. They come here a few days ago. Not every day. They can hand out their flyers. They may not follow the people and talk to them. May I talk to you? Not be rude. No, the kind I make is your kind, but they don't like put huge things. They have some flyers. Ja, das alles gut. Jetzt schon in der Nähe und wir haben es nicht ab. Es ist immer eine Sache, man muss immer etwas abgeben.
we don't have permission slips.
I now just kindly ask you to fold together your things. You can stay here and hand out your flyers. Although you did not ask for permission, you can hand out flyers. But I kindly ask you to fold.
Yeah, but the interest is very small and people it's out of season. We search for a bunch of people.
Just for bigger things. Even for handing out flyers, you should have asked. But permission is like a smaller thing. If you just ask for, can I hand out flyers? The mayor tells you what you may do, what you may not, and there are some like rules already for that. And it's not forbidden to hand out, but you should have maybe talked first.
When's the season?
Summertime. In wintertime, it's rather quiet. It's like tourists are more maybe most of them are Asians, Chinese.
That we see. They are all over the place, not just here. Every country so far, major population. So you take a liquor, right?
I'm not. I don't have time to discuss your topic. I just want. You can stay here. It's okay for us. Stay there. They just sit there, show their flyers. If people are interested, they will stop. They will ask you. Just don't follow them around and like disturb them. It's
Oh, we.
I've been in Italy, so in Milan.
Yeah, it's different mentality in different countries.
Yeah.
In Italy, you may stay on the street and shout around. It's more like quiet, and people are more like disturb people. If they want to know what you have to hand, to show you have to ask you. Say hello, it's okay of course, but
does it get busier this evening when people finish work? Would it be a little more complicated as a worse thing?
yes, there are not that many offices right here in the pedestrian zone, not much more busy, maybe a bit. Like the big companies, especially banks and stuff, are like on the street where the cars are going. The street will get busy, but here pedestrians are maybe a little more than now. But
so would there be anywhere else around you can put this up?
Without asking before with permission.
Nowhere.
In Lichtenstein, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just we have, we have a friend somehow, which we have a private property.
In a
That
private
would be
property in a
possible.
garden, if you know somebody, anybody in Lichtenstein, and ask him, may I put this in my garden? The only thing is you have to care about, you shouldn't see it from a road where cars are driving, because if it's
Distracting.
it's paying
attention,
yeah.
Just commercials can be, yes.
If you put it and cars driving, even here, some cars are allowed to drive. For example, over here, they have permission. If it's going on the street and he is looking over here and is hitting somebody, he has a problem and you too, because he didn't ask. It's like, it's like advertisement without permission. It doesn't really matter what you want to tell the people. You cannot do it like
So if we were to come back next year, hopefully the juniors every year,
just yes, this was it. The village is called Vaduz.
Yeah, we know.
this is the main city of the Globebusters.
Yes, we are small, but just call the. There is a page, Vaduz.com for Lichtenstein, FI. Just take a look at the internet and write an email, easiest way, and we will send you the document you have to fill.
That's cool. We'll be better next year because
Oh yeah, we are
two
not
places where
so prepared.
if you ask
I think it's not completely forbidden, there are possible
Yeah.
things, but you cannot just come without any answer.
because we know that our message isn't one of antagonism or anger or overthrowing the government. It's really about individuals trying to empower people to say you are the center of creation. So we've got nothing.
Right now the message itself doesn't really
offend it.
Doesn't really
Matter.
it's not, it doesn't really matter, honestly. This is a different religion than my religion. I have no problem with it. They ask for permission, they have to pay. It's okay.
Do you mind me asking what religion you are? Christian. Okay. When I was 13, I was
Honestly, quite not actually.
No, like me, like most people, really. But when I read the Bible as a child, I said to my teacher, I said, the Bible says the earth is flat and not moving.
Yeah, that's why I'm really not active. It's like more like a traditional thing.
But I
It's
read
not because I strongly believe, it's more like
Through families and through
it's
generations.
So I discovered that, and And I said, no. My science teacher says we live on a globe, gravity, all this sort of thing. So I rejected religion out of hand. And then 4 years ago, I discovered that if we live on a globe, we should measure the amount that the globe is bending, curving. Water should be curving because we're 70%
Not by eye.
and not by eye, but by laser. You know, the American military has a rail gun. It's a magnetic gun. They can fire at about Mark 14, Mark 15, and they can shoot it 100 miles, and they paint the target 100 miles away, and they can fire it directly at that target. They can see the target and fire it at that target. If we lived on a ball, that target should be almost half a mile under down the ball. Turns out that water is level. All the lakes in Lichtenstein, Switzerland are horizontal or parallel with every other body of water on Earth. All water sits level. We can't measure any temperature. So when I first discovered this, I went back and bought a Bible. I thought, maybe the Bible will right off the
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have no time to stand there and
have a discussion.
talk to you
Yeah.
about your topic all the time. I just like.
I'll just show you what the creator says. Something like this.
Is that David Weiss's app? Yeah. That's David Weiss's app. He's deep inside the rabbit hole. If you get a moment to look inside our website, deep inside the rabbit hole. We're going to pack up now. I want to offer you this. Take it away, my brother.
Yeah.
We are brothers, and we'll be packed up in 5 minutes. Packed up in 5 minutes, and maybe just
I will
visit
come
your
back in
beautiful
a few
town.
minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you for your understanding.
No,
Next
thanks
time,
for being so
please
polite.
ask first for permission.
Yeah,
and
we
no
got
problem.
that.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
again.
Have a nice
Cheers.
day.
Well, guys, the usual permissions on in order. I think one of the learnings for this tour is, we do some preemptive recceing. We go to their websites, as he said, go to our website. Getting permission is very, very easy. You just need to ask the mayor's permission. It absolutely sucks that we have to be, this is our world. But there are rules that will make us more effective in future. So Jack and I are going to pack up right now, the big banners, but we're going to do a little bit of in the street flying for a little while, I reckon. And try and get a few more conversations on camera. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to make a song and dance about it. And we certainly don't need to, because these guys will just follow through with, they might do a meekin on us, eh? The next thing you know, gonads are being grabbed a hold of, people are being detained, there's a whole flap going off
That's
back
enough,
at mission control.
He says that's enough when I show him the application, just
Yeah,
the application.
yeah,
Man, and
yeah.
He bumped him so hard. No, that's enough. I don't want to look at this anymore.
Jack's,
I don't want to listen to this anymore.
yeah. Jack's showed him the David Weiss's The Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac app on Google Play and on the App Store, and he got very excited. But he did take away one of our Flat Earth flyers, so hopefully he does a little bit of work of his own. But in the meantime, let's look to getting permission slips in future, because it's about working around the system, not trying to rub it all up the wrong way, because we do get a lot more traction if we're able to bring out the big banners, and we've seen how much time we lose trying to find criminals like Adam Meakin when they get banged up. So let's give Jack a hand. Be back with you soon.
Has anyone got some water?
Water?
Yeah, it's in the green bag.
I'll get you some water.
Careful. I think before we came to Swiss, we got a Swiss who is not his name. Person could maybe call.
Oh yeah, about getting some permission slips. Yeah.
Just try to get some approval.
Would you like some info? Would you like one? Would you like some info? There you go. Okay.
But of course, just put all your money and put it wherever you want. You guys don't believe me? Yeah, I got it.
Lisa,
Hmm?
I'm just gonna give these Jehovah's a little bit of truth talk.
I was thinking about that, yeah.
Yeah, go with it.
Oh, that's an Adam Meakin. It's a nut. We are missing Adam Meakin. Hopefully he's doing well back in, had a warm bath, and he'll probably be getting a good night's sleep tonight. Not envious about that at all. Anyway, let's go and have a word. Hi. He's been sent away because we are not allowed to be here. We haven't got the permission slips.
Would you like some info?
Sorry?
Would you like some information?
No, it's alright, I'm working. Oh, you are working? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I get Jehovah's
people.
Witnesses come to my door all the time.
Yeah.
So I love talking to Jehovah's Witnesses.
You're just for yourself.
I mean, did you know that in the Old Testament, in Genesis, it says that God set the earth upon pillars, set the earth firm upon pillars. In the beginning, when God created the earth, He separated the waters from the waters. Yes. And not only that, He made the sun and the moon as lights for the daytime and the nighttime. And then, when you look at the creation story, it's like the earth comes first, and then the sun.
No. This is why around the earth, water, and this water stops the light. Yeah. And the second or the third day, God cleaned this water around the earth, and then from the light to the earth. It was one day for the creation.
So now, let me ask you this. When you say water like this,
Yes, by the seed fruit on the water died. And the earth was
I've heard that. Yeah.
over,
With the flood.
over the mountains,
Yes.
4 meters or 5 meters, all mountains was
Covered.
yes.
Okay.
That was the water would come from the heaven.
Okay.
And it was around the earth.
Can I ask you something? You live here? You live
Yes,
in
I live
Lichtenstein? Do you have some big lakes? A big water, a big lake? Like
We have one.
Lake Geneva, it's in Switzerland. I don't
Yes. In Switzerland we have lakes, but here
We have two in Switzerland, yeah.
know. Yeah,
Big
you
one.
got some big lakes.
Yes.
Do you think that the lakes are flat, or do you think that they are bent like this? The water.
Cannot so good English, so I don't understand.
Okay. Do you understand what I mean by water level?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Never.
When you make a swimming pool, you know what a swimming pool is?
Yes.
Is the water in the swimming pool level, or is it bent like this? Is it round? Because when you said water just now, you said the water was like this. But we in physics,
That was the cloud. It's the sun. You know? The cloud has the water inside. And then he gives, and then it comes away. And that was the same. Angel, like the cloud. It was water in the cloud. And then God gives it free, and then he comes around the earth, and all over the earth is the sea flood by the time of Noah.
okay. So I want to dial right back out of this and say, to make it simple, for me, when I was young and I read the Bible, I said to my teachers that the Bible says the earth is flat. You don't think so?
And in
Contentious.
in the book Hiob, Hiob,
Job,
yes, it was a verse. He said around.
round.
Round from
Yes,
the
but
earth.
round like the wax on a seal. You see, when you press a wax seal,
Yes.
you get a round like a pizza.
Yeah.
You see,
But you
round
can,
like a pizza.
yeah, but he can both. He can, what to say, around
Would you like some toast, I guess?
Like a ball.
moving ball. We
Yeah, ball,
like
yeah,
a
ball.
ball. Because both things can this without.
Now, in the world around us, when we look at water, you think water would stay in a seal like this, yes, but on a ball, no. It's going to run off.
Yeah, that was the gravitation. Hold it.
Now, gravitation is only a theory.
Hold the water inside the and the earth go around the sun between because the gravitation.
Yes.
Gravitation.
Yes. But those things.
When we have no gravitation, we can fly.
Really?
Yeah.
But you know what density is? When we're heavy, because we're heavier than the air, we stay down. If we put a helium balloon on me,
Yes.
I can go up
Yes.
in a hot air balloon.
It's
The density.
the
Buoyancy.
heavy weight was smaller than the air. Helium was
Yes,
the
helium
heavy
is
weight
lighter.
smaller than the air.
Yeah.
Then it goes
So it's
up.
lighter, yes. So things are either heavier or lighter, and they either go up or down depending on how heavy they are. So when we go in a hot air balloon or an aeroplane up to the clouds, you see that the clouds are like this. But science, I need to get a flyer and show you. Science says that if we live on a ball, it should be bending. The water must be bending, and you should be able to make a measurement of the bending. And they say 8 inches per mile squared. Per mile squared, because if we're standing here on the top, as you go down of a ball, it goes faster and faster and faster until you get underneath. Right? It goes down and down and down and down. Well, that means that over 10 miles there should be 60 foot of bending. On a lake just 10 miles across, there should be 60 foot of curvature if we live on a ball, but we find no curvature. The Suez Canal, you know Suez?
Yes.
120 miles long, flat.
Do you think the earth was not
A ball? No, I think that the Bible actually has 200 verses. People are looking at the Bible again. There's 200 verses that say that earth is flat, not moving. The sun and the moon are small lights that God created. God created these lights for the daytime and the nighttime. And Job references one that makes it think like there's a circle, the circle of the earth, that says that's it. But a circle is like a circle, not a ball. So we think that we've all been mistaught by our science and by our modern version of religion. That the old religions were right in that they said, yes, God created the earth flat. I think that everything is layered upon each other. There's maybe a dome, maybe it's all enclosed, because thermodynamics says that if you want to have a pressure and a low pressure and a high pressure, you have to have a barrier separating them, otherwise it equalizes. Like a deodorant can. You pressurize, puncture that, immediately equalization of pressure. So how can we have a space and a vacuum and then a high pressure system like the atmosphere without the atmosphere just being pulled off into space? Again, people say gravity. Gravitation, just a theory. A theory based on that something falls to the floor, or that because something is big, it's bending of time and space. These things are theories. So we based a lot of our beliefs today on the world that we live on theories and NASA. And I only started looking into this when I found out that NASA faked the moon. 5 years ago, I found a documentary called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. And in that documentary, you see NASA footage of Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin faking the moon landings.
you think?
I know that now. It's absolutely clear that it's, the National Geographic it puts these documentary channels, they put out information. Oh, we've looked at the shadows, we've looked at the waving flag, and we've looked at all the things. Don't worry, they definitely went to the moon. Well, I can assure you there's a lot more to look at. If you go and look at moon landings faked, NASA created it, you can see a lot more footage that we never saw when we were growing up. For example, the interview of the three astronauts when they came back from the moon, they're sitting there fidgety, nervous, whatever. They should be like, oh, yeah, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. But they're like, well, we think this, we think that. Their answers don't make sense. They look like guilty men lying.
What do you think about the picture from satellite?
I think that these things can be created, and NASA have admitted they've got a guy, one of their, the guy who created the blue marble, what we know is the blue marble shot that everybody thinks of when they think of the Earth. The guy who created it, his name is Rob Simmons. And he's on a YouTube interview, he's on a radio interview saying, yeah, I created that. What I do is I take data sets, and I've never been to space, so I draw it in like I imagine it might look. This blue, this, I make this a bit greener, I put in some clouds, and all of this sort of thing. And when we analyze the different pictures that NASA give us of the Earth from space, the same size Earth, different size continents. It turns out that there's not one accepted version of the globe that everybody can say this is exactly how our globe is. You'd think that today, when they can laser print a heart, when they can perfectly create a human heart, that they should be able to perfectly say this is the distance between this place in Chile and this place in South Africa, the size of this is definitely right, and so on. But there's not one globe, there's not one map that is accepted to be the perfect representation of our Earth. So we're saying that satellites are probably just on balloons, very high altitude helium balloons. They can keep them up there for months. Google admits they've got a big project going across called Google Loom, where they've got these satellites that they're hanging in Africa and places like that. They say we put them up at 60, 80,000 feet. We can leave them up there for months. We've got little things we can control where they move and stuff like that. This is what they've been doing for 50, 60 years. They do it from up in Sweden, they do it in Antarctica. They launch these 5-ton, 8-ton massive satellites, and they float them up there for 6 months. We've got footage of them being launched, and we've got footage of them coming into people's gardens, crashing back to Earth with the balloon attached, still the satellite with the solar panels and everything attached. So we think that we've been deceived by our control system, that all governments on Earth are working to the same control system, and that all science has been designed to manipulate and control the human story. There is absolutely a creator, there's absolutely a God. I think that's absolutely right, but most of us, all of us, have been misled to thinking that we have to trust some other authority figure, whether it be the Pope, or whether it be the scientists that we all look up to. I used to revere the scientists and say, they know the galaxy, they're exploring the galaxy, eventually we'll find life on the moon, Mars, all these places. But in fact, that's an insult to the Creator, because the Creator, it says in the book, the Creator created this place for us, especially for us, not through evolution or Big Bang or 4 billion years or 13.5 billion years, and then eventually Earth happens to come in a Goldilocks zone, and then something comes from space, and panspermia means that some sort of enzyme starts to turn into slime, and then a fish, and then a monkey, and then eventually me. That's all. No, absolutely, but that's what our leaders would have us believe. That's what they're pushing on our children and saying, you come from monkeys, essentially, you come from monkeys. And that is an insult to our Creator, because God created us in God's image. You look in the mirror, you're looking at the Creator. Understanding, yes.
We can have a lot of macht for other people. That's the same what God has.
Yeah.
In this, we are like God. What you say? We have the Eigenschaften.
Yeah, the spirit of, we are a fractal of, we are a piece of,
Ja, genau.
of, the,
genau.
of the Creator.
Ja, genau.
Yes,
Ja.
yes. But my science that I believed in, and the religion that I was given initially as a child was like, no, that doesn't make sense. None of that makes sense. But this idea that actually, there is only one. The universe is here. There is no space. There is no asteroids. There were no dinosaurs that were created before us. This world was created for us to kind of be like an Eden, to be the heaven on earth. But through the systems of control, somehow they've created a hell on earth for people. And until we realize our true divinity, we're going to remain in that state of low vibration, that state of hell. And I go around, my friends and I go around Europe, and we just try and tell people that, gosh, not only have they lied to us about our science, but they've lied to us about who we are. So not only is the earth possibly flat, but actually we might be the Creator's creation, and nothing should be higher at the apex of sovereignty, of divinity, than each of us. And it's a message of love, because we come from love. At the moment we live in a place that's not so much about love. It's greed, hate, avarice, war, separation through all these different things.
God have said in his book, it come a time in the future, not so far away, then God have Jesus have Jesus have 144,000 people from the earth, and he was die Regierung, and then kam diese Regierung over the world.
And when those 144,000
come
come,
with Jesus in the heaven, and he was the Regierung.
The
The
controller
covenant.
Okay, yeah.
This was
yes.
the new covenant.
Yeah, the new covenant.
Yes, and we here on the earth, we was like Lichtenstein, and the covenant is here, and we was under this covenant. We have Gesetze, we must do that. And then in the future, it was not this government. This government
will go away.
Yes, God do it away.
Yes.
And it comes the new government.
Yes.
Jesus is 144,000.
Yes, I love that.
That was
I love
what the people said.
I love that. Now I think the possibility is that 144,000. Well, firstly, that each of us has the spark of Jesus within us. So each of us has the potential to be like Jesus. Each of us have that potential to rise from the mud, rise from the hell, rise from the Sodom and Gomorrah, and rise to that higher state of being like Jesus was. Much respect to and that when 144,000 of us, because we are all one, there is only one creation, so we are all one, and from our one creation will come 144,000. This is a theory for me. 144,000 of us will rise, and once we rise, then the people around us will realize we no longer need the government, because the truth is written by God on your heart, and we don't need. Yes, we learn to be the higher being. You don't come out of Sodom and Gomorrah and just become the higher being. It takes pain. You got to crawl your way out of there. Like like the Shawshank Redemption. It's like the Shawshank Redemption. You got to crawl your way out of the muck, out of the dirt, out of the slime, and become the higher being. And when enough of us do that, then the governments will be set aside, because we will no longer need for them, because we will love each other so much, and we will live with each other so well that we won't trod on our brother. We won't need police to tell us what to do, because we will have found our divinity. We will have found our higher calling, our higher faith.
Yeah, when we go the same way like Jesus, we learn this. But the earth, or the people on earth, learn something others. And he do not that what God mean for us. He
Okay.
do other
Yeah.
things.
But that's maybe
He killed, he
Yes.
stole,
Yes.
he murdered,
Yes.
he lies.
Yes. Yes. So, because it's the 7 deadly sins, and we've been seduced into participating in the 7 deadly sins, but there are the 7 heavenly virtues. And as we learn to become more heavenly, or the 4 cardinal virtues, as we become more spiritual and more heavenly and so on, and we set aside the 7 deadly sins, then perhaps we will be able to set aside those darker control systems. Some people say it's the devil, Satan, or whatever. I don't mind what name you use, but obviously within the system we've been given these deadly sins, and we are born into it, and we fight.
We mean the same.
Yeah.
We mean about our learning by the Bible. We mean the devil or Satan was there behind.
Yes, pulling the strings. Yeah.
He do, and he give the people something in the heart and in the Gedanken, and
Yes,
then
mind.
they do that what Satan, but
Yes.
not what
God. Yes.
that's
Yes.
the problem.
Yes. And
But
so
the people don't think
yeah.
stories.
Yeah, yeah. But the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing the people that he didn't exist. But I think the devil, Satan, in this archetype exists, but in a way that people can't see it. So it's the devil is in the detail. The devil is in the government. The devil is in the banking system. The devil is in these levers of control.
The devil is
the system.
the man
Yeah.
who created this system.
Yes. Yes.
But this
Yes.
system is not what God wants.
Yes. But the system has also created the opportunity for us as God's creation over time. It may take thousands of years, millions of, I don't know, but over time to learn these lessons, see Sodom and Gomorrah, taste the fruit, and say, no thank you, I'm going to step away from that fruit. You know, because until you've had the opportunity to say, I tasted it and I walked away from it, you won't have gone through the lessons. You won't have had the painful experience that causes you to become a higher Christ-like soul again. So that's my thesis for you, my friend. I have enjoyed conversating with you today. And
Sorry, I don't
wish you well.
understand everything.
No, I wish you well.
But it was a good.
Very good conversation. Thank you so much for your time. And I wish you all the best, my brother.
If you want, here is for.
I will take one of yours
for
if you take
created.
one of mine.
This is for the created.
5 questions worth asking. We'll have a little look at that later on.
That's the same for.
Do you have a flat smacker flyer with you?
Yeah.
Perhaps my friend David Weiss
This
is
was
at.
life created.
Yes.
This question.
Yes.
It
Got one of these?
Answered
Yes.
in this.
Yes. You know, of course, life is created. It's so beautiful. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
It could not be happened by random chance.
Yeah, but-
I like to say to people, imagine if a wind blew through a scrapyard and out the other end came a Boeing 747 jet. Impossible. We are much more beautiful,
Yeah,
perfect
but
than a
in
jet.
school we learn evolution.
Of course.
We can't, sir.
Of course. Because the school is the government, is the control, is the devil in the system.
That was in the head from the people.
Yes.
She said, that's not true,
Yes.
but it was in the head.
Yes. Yes.
You learn it
Yes.
from
Yes.
small to
Yes.
great.
And the same with a ball. We get taught when we're small. We say, oh, you can walk underneath a ball and all this sort of stuff. But actually, now that I'm 50, I've realized, no, we can't prove that and we can't demonstrate that. So I've got a little bit of
When you
information.
read, yes, I have one.
You have this one already, my friend already.
When you this shows, you see another idea. Not the idea from the earth. So this was the idea to stay in the bottle.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
you can say,
Yes.
oh, that's not for me, or that's good for me. You understand?
All the ancient books, all the ancient religions say that the earth was created perfectly for us.
Yeah,
But we've messed it up.
not really.
But our time is coming to stand up again and make it beautiful again. If not in this generation, in future generations. And we will only do that when we learn the truth, because knowledge is power. And people have had the power taken from them by school, by government, by science, and dare I say it, even by religions. What's your name?
Religion, Peter.
Peter, I'm David.
David, have a good time.
Thank you. What were you going to say?
The religion teach, but we don't do that. And we don't live in the head. She learned, but she learned only not with craft. No craft. Not strong. They always the same, but not strong. No strong behind.
Yes, no, absolutely. It makes us weak. So, we're trying to be that strong again. And,
people, when Jesus lived, the people say, oh, he said with craft, he is strong.
Until we live like Jesus, until we have the courage that Jesus had to go and turn over the money changer tables, the banking, the government, and say, you are all wrong. This is bad for the people, my brothers and sisters. Until we have that kind of courage, then the world is going to stay under the control system.
Now it's the same.
Everywhere we go, oh, you can't go there, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. We're not trying to hurt anybody, we're trying to share love. And yet we're being told, you can't stand here, you can't do this, you can't do that. Because we have lost the courage, we have given it away, we are still in chains in the mind that stops us from being Christ-like. Warriors, as we should be, true warriors, divine warriors of God. To bring that 144,000, that high vibration, that chakra level, the energies up to God's, up to the heavens once more, so that we can all live in Eden in a beautiful, beautiful way.
That's the future.
Peter, it's been fantastic talking to you. Thank you so much. All the best. And to you too, my friend.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Have a good time.
Thank you, and all the best to you.
Sorry, I have forget your name.
My name David. David, how are you?
David, King David.
King David.
I don't. Now I don't.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that's a nice conversation there to take Lichtenstein to a different level. A little water for the old parched throat. I'm feeling a little bit cold-like at the moment.
Me too.
That might have something to do with the mountains.
Yeah.
Should we, are we going to do a little bit of walking? We're not really allowed to walk around, are we? It's more like, the guy said you can't walk after people and all that sort of stuff.
He didn't say we couldn't walk around, we just can't chase people.
Yeah.
So we can walk around and hand leaflets out.
Peter, that was a great conversation with Peter. I love that. That's one of the best Jehovah conversations I've had. They're normally pretty sticky. Bye guys. Is Jack gone? Did he go back to the van?
I'm not sure, but I think I saw him handing a few leaflets out, so he's probably wandering around town.
Okay, well we'll wander around. You're streaming?
Yeah.
Hello stream. I won't have any video to upload from today myself, but hey ho. This is a very quiet place, isn't it? As I said, it's summertime. There's a lot of tourists. Well, they're mostly from Asia, which is interesting. Wish you were here. Do we have any flyers? Hello, friend.
Would you like
okay,
to?
it's alright. They know we're here. It's such a small town. They know we're here.
Well, I mean, a lot of them have walked past 2-3 times.
Well, you could walk around this place in about 10 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that the audio wouldn't have been too great from Peter there, because he was very quiet spoken, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So folks wouldn't have heard that, but I actually felt like I had some traction there with him, you know? It was because most religious people accept that we live in some kind of Sodom and Gomorrah reality here, some kind of hellish devil kind of led reality. It's just terms and language that people use to express the nature of things. But yeah, we had some progress in.
Would you like some information?
No, thank you. Did the police dude come back?
No.
No. Let me take a few flyers from you.
Do you want to grab them?
Thanks. Did you show our friends on the stream these horses?
Yeah, that was the thumbnail.
Oh, okay. Oh. And it's called the Rat House here. Have you shown them that? Vaduz. It's interesting how those castles look like they're upside down on that crest.
Yeah.
I assume it means something else, but it looks like upside down castles to me. I assume this was their town hall, and the mayor, he's the guy we have to beg permission for to stand in the street with a flyer. That copper was a fairly nice young man, wasn't he? Very pleasant. It's very civilized in these places. Really,
Well, we'll have to flex
English.
smack the shops.
Yeah, I did have a few because they speak English. A lot of the assistants in the shops.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, let's just like systematically go through all of them.
yeah.
There's a few customers in there. Because
Well, the customers I bet hit because they actually had, the police did have some calls come in from,
Yeah.
I mean, this is such a
Okay.
tight little community. They'd be like,
well, just get the shopkeeper.
yeah. I might get the Meekin treatment if I pull out my chalk even.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, my friends. I've got some information for you. The Earth is flat. We've been lied to. There's a flyer. There's a degree of, I'm not going to say the word snobbishness, because I wouldn't want to call these people snobs, but there is a degree of snobbish-like behavior. Or like a kind of haughtiness. Haughtiness, it's better than snobbishness. Haughtiness is what you find amongst these people.
Centrum Grill.
Centrum Grill and Cafe. Those are two English words. Well, no, French. Cafe is a French
Well,
word.
they're going to remember us for next time.
Next time we're going to come here with permission
Considering it's
slips.
such a small place.
Hey, what's the name of that watch? Over there. DITRH Oni. Interesting. Hey, my brother. Good day to you. You alright? I've got some information for you. The Earth is flat. We've been lied to about all of our science. We don't live on a spinning ball, and we do not come from monkeys. That's my information for you today. Sent with love. So go and look into it. Have a good one. Oh, it's warm in here.
Yeah.
I should have stalled a little longer. You know what I want to do actually is, I encourage folks to do is to go to your local sports. If you don't really want to do any street activism, go to like a big stadium where there's there's hundreds of cars, and then just put some of these flyers like this kind of thing on people's windshield.
Yeah, I did that once. At a surfing area.
Okay.
I did it to all the surfers' cars.
Yeah. That's what you've got to do, and I mean, try and keep it simple. The flyer that you use, try and keep it punchy. I actually, yeah, it's making me think. The other day, a pal by the name of Ian, whose channel is called "The Storm Is Coming." He,
Should we
I
do
left
this?
him a parking ticket on his
Should we do this one?
windshield. Well, a parking ticket that I had. I left it for him. That was at the Kidderminster event, actually. It's a pharmacist. I wonder if he knows Adam Meekin. Good afternoon, sir. I've got some information for you. The Earth is flat. We've been lied to. Our entire science and cosmology is based on deception because gravity cannot be proven. Water is always level. That's what we know for sure. And we can't prove that the Earth is spinning. So we're going around telling people that the Earth is flat. We've been lied to about who we are. There's some information there, some opportunity to do some research for yourself.
Thank you.
All the best. Cheers. Your shop smells lovely, by the way. And do you know Adam Meakin by any chance? There's only one Adam Meakin.
You're singing the whole day or what?
I'm so excited to be alive, my friend. I've got some information for you.
Thank
The Earth
you.
is flat. We've been
Okay.
lied to about where we live.
Okay.
It's really empowering. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. It's all a bit fashy. Look, the Nile. Now, the Nile is an interesting river, 4,000 miles or 3,500 miles in length, and apparently it runs up a ball.
Is that a real song or did you just make it up?
Well, the smiling one?
Yeah.
No, I think that's a real song.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. I like the name of your shop, the Nile.
Nile, yes.
Like, named after the river?
No, it's a Swiss company. It's a family from Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
Since 1980.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you know the Nile River in Africa.
Yes.
It's about 3,000 miles long.
Okay.
And if we live on a globe,
Yes.
Earth, then the river is actually running uphill. Do you know that? Have you ever thought about that? It's
Uphill,
impossible.
not down. Up.
Well, it's impossible, really, because
Okay.
water must go downhill, right?
Okay.
Water gets downhill, and then eventually it gets to a lake, and it's going to be flat.
And they call the river Nile.
The Nile River in Africa. It's the
Okay,
longest
Nile.
river. Nile.
I think it's in
Yeah.
Egypt. What?
Yeah, through Egypt, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, Egypt and Sudan, I think,
Yes,
you know.
yes, yes.
But that's what the second longest river in the world, like the Amazon. And if we live on a ball, Earth, then these things are going uphill. But we know water can only go downhill
Okay.
until it gets to a lake or the sea, and then
What
it's
is the
sea
reason?
level. Hmm?
What is the reason why the river go up, not down?
Well, it can't go down.
Okay.
Yeah, it can't go up. But if they tell us we live on a ball, a globe, then
Okay, yes, yes.
it must
of course.
be kind of
Sorry.
going up to get
Yes,
from
yes.
the equator all the way up to where it goes out, right? So we're going around telling people that we've been lied to about where we live, that the Earth is probably flat, and it's like it takes a lot of research, but we wanted to share this because if it's true that we don't live on a globe, it means that we don't come from evolution. It means we don't come from monkeys. It means that actually we might be the center of creation. We might be God's creation, meant to have a perfect, beautiful experience here, a divine experience on earth. And that's been stolen from us. Our heritage has been stolen from us by the forces of control that exist in the world today. So we're just going around Europe for the next few months. We've been traveling through Europe, just going around to different cities, different places, and just letting people know that there's stuff they need to look into. The science of going out into outer space, landing on the moon, impossible. We think the moon is probably just a light, and you can't land on it. We can't get out of we can't get up to 100 miles even. So that's my
We
sort
have
of little bit of
enough problems
information.
of the earth with, I think.
But the problems of the earth have been created on purpose.
Yes.
They've been created on purpose so that they can tax and control the movement and the energy of the human race.
Okay.
And that's why these problems are never going to get any better. I'm 50, and in my life, the world has just gotten worse, poorer,
Yes, that's
harder,
Yeah.
etc., etc., not better. And the governments come in and say, oh, we're going to make it better. The next government, we're going to make it better. But never do you see it getting better in almost any place you look. And so it's not going to go better until the people realize they've got to stop trusting authority above themselves, because if you are the creator's creation, you are meant to be the highest authority here. There should be nothing that stands above you. You should be sovereign, like a king or a queen, with nothing that stands above you to tell you what to do. But the problem is, because we've been under control for so long, we're like hungry dogs. We treat each other badly. We're horrible to each other. Humans. We go to war against each other. We're greedy with each other, and all these sorts of things that mean that you've got to say, oh, please come and protect me. Policemen, government, army, all these sorts of things. Well, until we individually start to become the beautiful, divine, sovereign beings for ourselves, no religion, no government, until we start becoming that, we are going to need controllers to tell us, like children, we're going to need parents to tell us what to do. And I'm just going around saying, hey, we don't need that anymore. We can learn to love ourselves and learn to love our fellow human, such that eventually we can say, no more government, thank you. We can look after ourselves.
Where do you come from?
Well, I was raised in South Africa, born in England.
Okay, okay.
And we're traveling around Europe at the moment. We were in Italy today. Last 5 days we were in Italy. Yesterday we were in Milan.
And now in Lichtenstein.
Liechtenstein today,
also, I think.
Germany tomorrow for a few
Austria.
days. Yeah. And Finland soon, Sweden, Denmark, Spain, where it'll be warmer.
Oh, a little bit, yes. I was in Spain for 2 weeks.
Ah, lovely.
Yes, Madrid.
Oh, lovely. Well, we'll be in Madrid in about 2 weeks' time, actually. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's right,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Well, I've enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you.
My name's Dave.
Karin.
Carlin. I've got a YouTube channel if you ever want to look out for more information. Yeah, my YouTube channel is called Trinity4. Trinity4 on YouTube. Carlin, lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions before I leave?
I'm read it, and my English is not so perfect. I
That's okay.
understand not
Okay.
all words,
Okay.
but I,
Yeah, well, go and look at the science,
Yes,
hey,
yes.
and how things actually
Yes.
work, because we can't prove, there's no experiment that proves that the Earth is spinning. And there's no experiment that can show water, any large body of water, bending. You know, none of that makes sense. And when you start to look at the moon landings and the things that we believe, like the pictures of NASA give us from Earth, from space,
yes.
turns out that they're all cartoons. They're all computer-generated
In
images.
internet and read it. Okay.
I wish you the very best.
Fine.
Lovely to meet you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
time.
Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nilla, I like it. Nilla. Good luck. Bye-bye. Worth its weight in gold. Worth its weight in gold.
And we have to pick up Sven at what time exactly?
8 o'clock. Hi.
Okay.
How are you today? You speak English?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
I got some information for you, my young lady friend. It turns out that the Earth is not a ball.
Yes.
That we've been lied to, and that the Earth is probably flat. Just like water is flat and level, Earth 70% water, which is always level. So it means that our science has been taught to us wrong from when we were small.
Yes.
To make us think that we are small, insignificant, make us think that maybe we came from monkeys or that asteroids and dinosaurs and all of this sort of stuff. Actually, this place has been created for you to have a divine experience. And that divine experience has been stolen from you by us all, by the control system that exists today. So we're going around Europe with my friends, just telling people that to research this, to go and look into this information, and with it discover who you are, and have a more spiritual and a more rewarding and rich life.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, it's nice to hear. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's lovely to meet you.
Thank
And yellow is a very good color for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Purple rain, purple rain. Yeah, man.
But so do you know how long it takes to drive to the airport?
That's
from
a
here?
few hours. I think we've got 3 hours driving to do. So
Well, we better
you might
go then.
wanna, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Vaduz, World of Beauty. Let me just hit the girls. at
Yeah,
World
so
of
it's
Beauty.
5 now, so if we leave, we'll get there in time.
Yeah. No time for dinner then? Good afternoon, ladies. My name is Dave, and I'm here to tell you that the Earth is flat. There is absolutely no proof that we live on a spinning ball. We've been lied to about who we are and where we are. I've got some information for you. Please take your time to research it and have a fantastic life.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have a great day. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain. Now, purple is a combination of blue and red. which is what we're meant to be, blue and red. Not divided blue and red, but a combination blue and red. Left and right together makes purple. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine.
Can I give you a flyer, some information, my dear? We've been lied to about where we live, and we think that we...
Piano.
Slowly, piano, I like that. We say that water is flat.
Where?
Water,
Where?
In a lake?
In the lake?
Yes.
Which lake?
Any lake.
Any
Water
lake.
is always flat. The Suez Canal, flat.
Flat.
Yes. The Swedish archipelago,
Yeah.
flat.
Why?
Because that's the natural physics for water, is always level and flat. You see? So if we live on a globe like that, how does the water go round? We can't measure the water going round. We always see water level flat like this, you see? So we say the earth is flat. We've been lied to by our governments, by our science. It means that we, and you, are very important. You are the center of creation. And when you know this information, share this with your family widely. When you know this information, it will free your heart. It will free your soul.
Okay, I will do it.
Thank you very much. Have a fantastic life. Lovely to meet you. Thank you very much. Piano, piano. You like that? Give me some piano. All right. Purple rain, purple rain. Have you seen that castle up the top of the hill? I mean, isn't that amazing? Give the folks back home a bit of a zoom in on that staggering construction. Built with matchsticks and people that had horse-drawn carriages, of course. And what kind of rope did they use? Probably hemp to haul everything up there. Yes. So, should we look to close off the stream then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Perhaps we'll just walk back to the bus because we're right near the bus, and we can close the stream at the bus. This has been Vaduz in Lichtenstein, which is one of those odd banking principalities that is 25 kilometers by 12 kilometers in size. I mean, it's staggeringly small, and it somehow seems to be excluded from the regular legislation and control. My friend, can I give you some information? The earth is flat. We've been lied to about where we live. We need to look into that. Open your mind, open your soul, free your heart. And, whoa, train coming down the town. Hey, my friends, I've got some information for you. You've got one already?
Thank you.
Please do the research. It will make a difference. Look out. Nearly killed by the town train. Here's some information. Don't waste the paper. Ni hao. Can I give you some information, my friends? Research the globe line. Yeah, we've been lied to about where we live. Your young friend, your young son needs to know that our entire science is like a religion. Gravity is like a religion. We cannot prove gravity. We cannot prove curving water. We cannot prove it's spinning. So look into it, and I wish you well. Okay. Now. Yes, it's one of those tiny little places where it's like, how is it that, like Switzerland can go, oh, we've got this tyrant, we call him Hitler, let's say, we've got this tyrant who is going to rampage across Europe. But if we say, oh, no, we'd like to stay out of your little fight, we're a very wealthy place, but you're not interested in us. And he goes, oh, okay, I won't bother with you. Well, Lichtenstein is like one of those same places that goes, oh no, we're going to just keep to ourselves and set our own little shop up here. What is this all about? Who is really running the show? And when you see little places like that, you wonder, like this Lichtenstein, you wonder if the controllers haven't set themselves up with these little havens where they can carry out their nefarious control system. So this may be one of those places. It's absolutely, quaint and Swiss in its setup and location and so on. But it's Lichtenstein, and It's tiny, and we're not allowed to be here. Is that all Chinese coming off the bus? Otherwise, I would hit that bus hard. But here we are at the bus. We're going to say goodbye because we're going to the airport now. Hey, there's Andrea. Is Jack here?
No.
Okay, Jack's obviously battering the town. It won't be long for him to get back around because it is so small.
Yeah, it seems like only Chinese.
Chinese?
There's
Yeah.
another bus arriving now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quick, go and flat smack them.
Yeah. Oh, ni hao, ni hao, ni hao. Ni hao. We need to find out what Earth is flat in Chinese is, eh? That would be
that'd be
useful.
good.
I could
That would
fling
make a
that.
big difference because it might be the difference between them interacting with us or not.
If you know something in their language.
La terra e piata is not going to work for them, is it?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to close off the stream now because we're going to go and pick up Sven in Munich this evening.
250 k's to drive.
250 k's, which is about 160 miles, I think. So we've got that to attend to. And maybe something for the tummy. Is there anything in the tank for the tummy? Because I'm getting a little hungry. So don't forget, research Globali and do your bit when you can. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we're in, is it Munich tomorrow? Is it Munich tomorrow, darling? It's Munich tomorrow. We'll see you in the live stream later. I mean, on the wrap-up show. I apologize in advance for one, not having Adam and his energy. Two, being absolutely shattered and exhausted on a level that is becoming inhumane. So I just apologize for not being as excitable as perhaps I could be. Perhaps I need someone to grab my gonads because it certainly worked for Adam, didn't it?
Is that Chinese for the Earth is flat?
Well, how do you pronounce that in
Ute.
English?
Dikwi Shi Pintan D.
Perhaps if you need an actual.
Anything with dick in it, right? We should be careful of saying.
Yeah,
dick
well, that's
around
what
here.
I thought.
If I start saying dick around this town, then I might get.
Just start laughing at you.
Yeah, well, that too. Ni hao, dick. Ni.
What we need to do today is we need to teach Alexander the Great to
Yeah,
speak
yeah. If
Chinese.
Alexander was saying Earth is flat in Chinese, we'd be on to something. In fact, what he needs is the T-shirt, because then nothing will get lost in translation. If you have in
Well, why don't we just do
what is it,
all
Cyrillic?
across
What is
the
there?
board?
Oh no, it's
Across the
Russian.
board. Then we can just
Yeah,
point to the country.
yeah. The Earth is flat. Dick. Ni hao. That's, my Chinese is on the up. So let me give this man a fly. My friend, some information for you. So this, the Earth is flat. We've been lied to about where we live. We can't prove that we live on a globe other than what NASA sent us, images and so on.
Okay.
And we proved that NASA are only giving us computer-generated images.
Okay, I am into that, yes. Okay.
Yeah, check it out. Good luck. All this, my friend. La terra è piatta. The Earth is flat. So I'm going to try Spanish, Italian everywhere I go, because that's all I've got at the moment. That and Afrikaans. Die aarde is plat, which is almost like the Dutch. Die aarde is plat. Earth is flat. Oh, hey, while I'm thinking in Afrikaans, here's something for the nerds. In Afrikaans, the word for God is Here, spelled H-E-R-E, which is here. So God is here in Afrikaans. Just by the way, God is here. God is here. When you look in the mirror, you're looking at an image of God, of the Creator. It may all be within you. It's phenomenal, right? Remember, I was an atheist just 4 or 5 years ago, so this is not someone who's trying to bang some kind of lifetime of religious Sacramento on you. This is someone who's gone, oh my Lord, we are so important. We are the center of creation. And when you die, you return to that kind of, what they call in science, that like, that singularity. Yeah? the point from which everything emanates in the Big Bang. Well, perhaps it's a reverse, in that the universe then compresses down into that singularity, which is where God sort of exists in you. That's my little kind of piece to the camera. So I will say good night, goodbye, see you in Munich.